Well, that Meek Mill situation happened outside the Nike store, but no one really knew about it. And I remember I did an interview with Taxstone.
Yeah, you caught me off guard.
Yeah. So me and Taxstone did an interview, and he brought that up in our interview. And then after the interview, he said, you know something, take that part out. And I'm like, I got you. So his interview came out first in its entirety, but that part was taken out. And then, by coincidence, me and you had an interview scheduled afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit up Taxstone. I said, listen, I'm about to interview Quentin. Can I play him that part? It's up to you. You told me to take it out, but if you allow it, I'll play him that part. And he was like, yeah, go ahead, play him that part. So that's why in that clip you hear him say, okay, but don't put that out.
Flex said he had the what's the dude that wrote for Drake?
Quentin
Miller. He had the Quentin Miller reference track.
Okay.
And he was dropping it in the Drake shit or whatever. I knew he didn't have it. So I tweeted Hot 97 out here lying again.
How did you know he didn't have it?
I had some intel. I had some very close sources to the whole situation. You know what I mean? So I knew he didn't have it.
Well, I mean, allegedly those records, came from DJ Drama. That's who.
Yeah. He was recorded at DJ Drama Studio.
Yeah, like DJ Drama's ex went out and said that Drama went and leaked the records to to Meek, and then Drama denied it. And I've known Drama for like 10 years, and I don't know what happened. But do you have any idea the story behind all that shit?
It was just a lot of stories, and that's what they are, they're stories. So I can't really say one factual reason or why it happened and shit like that, because it's almost like 4 different stories. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't want to just be pumping no false shit out there. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just say I don't know. You know what I mean? Personally, on really what happened. But
you basically called out Flex for saying he got that
4
record.
hours before I tweeted, I said Flex is lying. He doesn't have a record. Hot 97 is trolling us so we can listen to them so they get some ratings tonight. And people know I be telling truthful shit. So they was like, word, you serious, Tax? So they atting them. Yo, Ebro is Tax saying this, that, and the third. So they watching it, and then, Flex comes on, no record.
Yeah. And I have been in situations where I've had problems with people that just came out of nowhere at me, calling me a faggot or whatever else. And, 3 years later, I have a conversation with them, they want to work it out. And it's like, why'd you call me a faggot? For no reason, when I just seen you a month before. Man, people was in my ear saying that you was hating on me and whatever else, but now that I'm talking to you, I know that's not true. And so I've seen these type of dumb situations escalate from outside people. Yeah. You think that's kind of what happened?
Yeah, it's possible. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I heard a couple, man, listen. There's a couple of stories and they all like mesh in, but it's like, it's weird. Like from what I ain't even gonna say that shit. It's that shit. We gonna say it, just don't put it up. Meek wanted the motherfucker to write for him.
Meek wanted Quentin Miller
to write for him.
To write
and Quentin Miller wouldn't write for him. So they blew it up like this motherfucker write for Drake. You know what I mean? And that's how it really came out. And that's why Dream Chasers beat Quentin Miller up in LA and all that shit.
Wait, Quentin Miller got beat up?
Yeah. They ain't see yo about that shit. They beat Quentin Miller up in Foot Locker or some shit.
I've never heard this.
Yeah, that happened.
And
people was at me that worked in the Foot Locker when it was going on.
Okay. So Quentin Miller got beat up by the Dream Chasers.
Yeah.
Because
this is after all the everything.
After the everything. Well, why were they so mad at him? Why were they mad at him?
I don't know. That's what I don't know. That's why I be thinking sometimes that story might have been true about him wanting the boy to write for him, and you know what I mean?
It's true. See, and I took it like, when you showed me that part, I was like, oh shit, like, is that like word around town? Like, is people talking about it? So then I felt like I had to own it. I had to jump on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't want to hide from it or, whatever. Even with the ghostwriting situation, I feel like if Drake would have just owned it, it would have kind of took the power out of it, but it just kind of, the denial of it and the mystery of it just made people more interested and more intrigued. But if you just take the sheet off the ghost,
Well, yeah, I mean,
damn, that was a bad choice of words. Fuck. I really didn't mean that. I really didn't mean it like that.
I caught that too. Okay, so that interview comes out, and I think it was like it came out on Easter. I remember one of my staff members saying that, like, you know, I think from your camp, someone was like, "Yo, we're trending higher than Jesus right now." Like when that came out,
yeah,
it was like,
man, that was crazy. That was crazy, man. Man, a lot of clout. You would think that would have transferred into other areas of my life, but nah, it was just clout, just clout.
Right. Well, because our interview dropped and it became the biggest thing of that day, and Meek Mill responded, and he said, "I don't know what y'all talking about."
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You know, I don't know. You know, and then like I saw. You know, rappers were like, "Oh man, he on some snitching shit." I wasn't snitching, man. I ain't on that shit. I ain't trying to get nobody, you know, jammed. Like I said, I wouldn't even said nothing about it. But once it got shown to me, and I'm like, okay, words going around. I just wanted to. I ain't want to shy away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just wanted to own it. Like
Right, because I think around that time, Meek Mill said that interview that I did with you was actually masterminded by Drake. And I could tell you, me and Drake weren't speaking at all. We had spoken once or twice when we were out, and it actually wasn't even a good situation. We actually had an altercation.
And he doesn't. He didn't want me to speak at all. He didn't want me to. Yeah, that's obvious. The complete opposite of, you know. If anything, he just wanted me to just fall back into the shadows.
Yeah, no, that definitely was not orchestrated by Drake. Drake didn't put some money in my pocket or, you know, telling me to go do that. That was something, you know, and I had to explain the parts of how it all came together because it, like I said, I needed permission from Taxstone. And he was the one that brought the information to me and so forth. But it came out, of course, I think Meek was on Papers at the time or so forth. So I think he had to say
Yeah, he had to, you know. And, you know, like I said, I wasn't going to be on no pressing charges shit. I don't want to, you know, I ain't on that shit, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not about to cap and act like you know, oh no, ain't nobody. Then somebody dropped some video or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I ain't know how far the word was going to go. I knew bro had the camera out when, you know, the shit went down. So I ain't know if it was going to be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You capping about it, like, you know, put some shit out or whatever, you know? So I was looking out for me, you know, Meek thinks about Meek and Drake thinks about Drake, you know, but, you know, sometimes I have to think about myself, you know, and, you know, just as a man, you know, so.